Hey everyone, welcome back. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you my 8 personal style goals for 2023. I've never actually sat down to think about what it is I want to get out of my personal style, but this year I wanted to sort of sit down and think more intentionally about that, because in 2022, I didn't really have any specific goals for my style, nor did I have any sort of constraints or limitations around it, which I think is important to think about, especially when it comes to how we decide to spend money on our wardrobe and allow it to evolve with things like our taste, our life, and our lifestyle. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you my 8 personal style goals for my wardrobe. And before we get started, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh.
What's for dinner?
HelloFresh, baby. I just got home from work. I don't want to think about what's for dinner, so let's let them take care of it. Fajita style beef bowl, Salisbury steak style pork patties, and mashed dry rub chicken. Which one do you want?
Beef.
Let's do it. Instructions. Along with my personal style goals for 2023, I also have a lot of health and fitness goals, like working out more consistently and eating more at home, which is why I was so stoked that HelloFresh reached out, because they make eating at home super easy. I work full-time as a pharmacist and basically have another full-time job creating content, so HelloFresh has been amazing to help us save time at the grocery store, and we're still able to have simple but healthy meals in a pinch, so no more relying on expensive takeout. Jeff and I ended up making the fajita style beef bowls this week. It took us less than 30 minutes to make, and it was actually really fun. We made it together and really enjoyed it.
Where's the beef?
There's the beef.
Oh.
All ready to go. So your turn to make it. Is it super easy?
It's super easy.
Most of the packaging was recyclable, and we actually cut down on our usual food waste because we used up all the ingredients and ate everything. HelloFresh has over 35 weekly recipes to choose from, with lots of options to help customize and align with your goals and dietary needs. The ingredients are always high quality and super fresh, where they travel straight from local partner farms to your door in less than 7 days. You can even pick up extra snacks, sides, and dessert. Just add them to your weekly order and they'll arrive at your door along with your meals. Go to HelloFresh.com and use code MACHAS21 to get 21 free meals plus free shipping. Thanks, HelloFresh. Goal number 1 is to explore color. I find this kind of funny because years ago I made a video that the thing I stopped buying happily for my wardrobe was color, but I've sort of changed my tune over the past few years and even had a personal color consultation done by Use Less. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it right here. But we basically determined that I am a deep, cool, and clear color type, which means that sort of stark and saturated colors in a sort of cooler tone color family tend to complement me more and look better on me. And I have done that a little bit throughout the past couple of years. Like I have my green teal blazer, I have my red blazer from Cotton, and this year I think I just want to play around with that a little bit more. I think it's just a way to have a little bit of fun and allow my style to grow and evolve, but in a way that still feels fairly intentional and slow. So I'm not just going from like one end to the other. I think it's about incorporating those colorful pieces, whatever they are, into my existing wardrobe seamlessly. Number 2 is to actually focus on less but better. I shopped pretty freely this year and really allowed myself to explore and be okay with when I said okay to myself. And overall, I do feel really good about that, but at the same time, I do know that I find I get very overwhelmed when I do have too much stuff. And this year I just don't really want to spend that much more on my clothes. I think because I allowed myself to sort of shop and develop my wardrobe throughout the year in 2022, I want to spend more time actually utilizing those new pieces. And I just want to spend my money on other things. We went to New York City a few months ago and that was amazing. It really opened my eyes to be like, oh wow, I really want to travel more, or I just want to do things more, as opposed to just focus on getting new stuff all the time. So in an effort to keep things, I think, reasonable and not so stoic or restrictive on my end, but still intentional, I've decided to limit my clothing and accessory purchases this year to a maximum of 10 items. I think that is a generous number. I might allow myself like a margin of error of like plus or minus 2 items. But this way, I think it really sort of drives home the idea of focusing on less but better. And I think will allow me to practice the if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no mentality. And then Christina here, one thing I forgot to mention was regarding sponsorships. So I have an Instagram post going into a little bit more detail about that, but in terms of the 10 item clothing limit, if I am working with a brand, then that is kind of an exception, or if I need to get clothes relating to my business. So if I'm doing like a review or comparisons, things like that, I think those will be fairly infrequent, but I think it's reasonable for me to plan that in and factor that in just to keep it realistic. That's the name of the game this year. Number 3 is to continue the one in, one out decluttering method. If there's inflow coming into my space, then I need to keep that neutral by having something go out as well. There's an unlimited amount of things to want, but we do have a limited amount of space to hold it. So this method really helps me just keep it sort of even. Number 4 is to lean into more mini capsule wardrobe challenges. So I'm talking about things like doing 10 by 10s, 7 by 7s, even 5 by 5 challenges, just to get a little bit more play and focused intention on my wardrobe. In general, most of my wardrobe I notice is basically a 12-month wardrobe. Plus or minus some layers, I can pretty much wear most of my wardrobe all year round, which I think is a really great place to be, but it can also make the capsule wardrobe feel just a little bit static and like you sort of wear the same thing in a different version over and over again. I love being an outfit repeater. I love having my style uniform, but I think doing these sort of mini dress up challenges, it'll just help me make efforts to get more use out of the lesser worn pieces, like my colorful pieces, like my beige pants, because I love wearing black. I'll definitely have a lot of styling videos and mini challenges like that this year. And I think ultimately it's just another way to shop your closet without actually shopping. Number 5 is to play around with more styling. Essentially just learning how to be more creative with the clothes once they're on your body. This would be playing around with different kinds of tucks with your shirts, using elastics on your sleeves, on your pants, getting a little creative with buttoning, using safety pins. It's just learning to be more creative with the item once it's on your body to add a little bit more interest and depth into your look. Number 6 is to connect with my more feminine energy. I find that my style in general tends to lean a little bit more masculine or even androgynous in aesthetic, and I really love that. And I've talked at length on this channel about how I don't really feel comfortable in dresses and skirts, and part of that, honestly, I think is a little bit trauma related. I've been doing a lot of work sort of like unpacking some things from my past, and I'm just gonna flat out say it, I got bullied for my legs. So I think a lot of my discomfort when I show my legs is because of that. And I think for a long time, my solution to that would be just to say, well, it, I'm not gonna wear dresses. But I think I kind of wanna challenge that a little bit and just find something that I like and that feels like me. It might just be like a special occasion piece that I don't really wear that often, but I still want it to be something that I feel really good in and that still feels like my style. And I think, you know, maybe it doesn't even need to come in the form of a dress or a skirt. It could be just like wearing little kitten heels a little bit more, my ballet flats more often, maybe in a color, in a bag, or in a lipstick, but just sort of like exploring my more feminine side this year. I am kind of, I don't know, I'm curious about it. I want to check it out. Number 7 is to focus on shopping for my personal style instead of for outfits. This concept I learned from Amy Smilovic. She's the founder of Tibi. I hope I'm saying her name right. Smilovic or Smilovich, I'm not sure. Where she basically talks about how if you cannot describe your own style, then it's going to be really difficult to shop for pieces and have those pieces feel like you. If you focus on simply shopping for outfits, it can become very repetitive and very tired in your wardrobe really quickly. And a lot of the times it can leave you feeling really sort of off in your clothes and in that outfit. So instead, the aim is to focus on narrowing down your style adjectives or style words. Another person who is really great at sort of driving this point home is Alison Bornstein. Make sure you follow her too. But find 3 adjectives that can describe your personal style and shop for pieces that fit that mold. So for me, I would say my adjectives are relaxed, classic, and minimal. Maybe sometimes a little edgy. I like to think so anyway. So instead of shopping for outfits that might take me to a limited amount of events or only be used in a certain part of my life, it's about shopping for pieces that you can use across a range of times in your life and that also reflect those style words. And finally, number 8 is to shop out of season. I can't remember if this was on TikTok or on Instagram on one of my No Buy January posts, but I thought it was absolutely genius and I had to share. And she said that one of her shopping rules was to only shop during sale season. So essentially January and July. And so utilizing things like my wish list and waiting and budgeting and waiting until a really good sale season, I think is just another strategy and tool that I'm gonna use and that you can think about using to just make your purchases again more mindful, and you can just potentially get a good deal. So those are some of my personal style and shopping goals for 2023. These are just some things that I want to do more of and potentially less of in the new year, all sort of in an effort to allow myself to enjoy my clothes and enjoy fashion and shopping, but within a set of, I think, healthy constraints that I think are going to push me to be more creative, to learn to wait and delay gratification, but still allow me to honor that part of myself that simply enjoys it and values spending money there. Let me know what some of your own personal style and wardrobe goals are for the new year. Leave me a comment down below. And if you like this video and got some value from it, give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out, and it's the best way to show my video to new people so we can grow this community. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.